Can I get VA disability compensation for my pre-existing condition? I got this question recently because soldier was out processing from the Army. Their first sergeant or somebody at some office said, oh, that's a pre-existing condition. You can't get VA disability for it. You can't even apply for VA disability for it. That's the kind of terrible advice I'd expect from somebody who has no idea what they're talking about and should not be giving that advice. Or they shouldn't be giving advice on VA disability at all, because that's just not true. The truth is actually a lot more complicated. You might be thinking, Andy, well, why should the American people be on the hook for a condition the person came into the Army or the military as a whole with? They had a bad knee or a bad shoulder or a bad whatever prior to joining. Why is that the military's fault, and why should the American taxpayer be on the hook? You're actually onto something. It's not automatic. This is why it gets a little complicated. The VA has a test for this. Let's go back to what a VA disability claim is, right? Or VA disability compensation in general. Now, some will call it the 3 pillars, the big 3, whatever. It's a current condition, an in-service event, and a nexus between the two. I like to put it simple. Is there something wrong with you now, and it's because of something that happened in the military? Kind of the same thing, but I like to put it in plain English. That changes just a little bit if it's a pre-existing condition or a condition that you came into the service with. Obviously, you have to medically qualify to join the military, so there's something called the presumption of soundness when you join the military. And that presumption of soundness is that there's nothing wrong with you. Now, if you go through MEPS, they might find something like asymptomatic flat feet, or maybe you had a prior shoulder surgery because you played college or high school football, whatever the case may be. So something, you're not quite 100%. There's some aftermarket parts on you. You've had some work done, whatever. The test the VA uses to figure out whether or not they should compensate you for your current condition, meaning that there's something wrong with you now, is, did the military service worsen the condition beyond its natural progression? That is very tricky and very hard to determine by most medical professionals. The medical professional has to be qualified to do that. And they have to say, well, you know, this knee surgery or this knee condition resolved before service, so there was nothing really wrong with them. Or this shouldn't have progressed to the point that it is had they not been in the service. It's a really close examination of, did this condition get worse than it would have had the person not been in the service at all? If you come in, maybe you're a little bit banged up, but a good doctor can say, yeah, you'll be fine for years and years and years. It should not give you much problems ever again. But it gets a lot worse in the military. Well, there you have it. It shouldn't have gotten a lot worse. Maybe a little bit worse, but not a lot worse. So how do you know if your condition progressed more than it would have, more than the natural progression of the injury would have been? Well, this is something you're going to have to talk to with your doctor. And when you talk to your doctor, say, listen, doc, I know I came in, I had a little bit of a knee problem prior to joining. I was qualified to join, but now my knee's really, really bad. Did it get worse than it would have had I not joined the military? And the doctor might shrug their shoulders, go, I don't know. I'm here just to give you your flu shot, right? So this gets complicated. And I tell folks, apply for it. The worst that can happen is the VA says no. If that's the case, we can take a look at it to see, did this condition, if you look at the data and the science, did this condition actually progress more than it would have had you just lived your life and never signed on the dotted line? It's complicated. You can absolutely get compensated for pre-existing conditions or conditions that happened before your service if the condition worsened beyond its natural progression due to the time you spent in service. With that said, if you have a condition like this or any other condition that's been denied or underrated, and you want to have us take a look, reach out. Please keep in mind that for the best possible effective date and the best possible results, you really want to get in touch with us within 1 year of the rating decision, because you only have 1 year generally to appeal, and that's when you can preserve your effective dates. You can reopen it down the road, but you can lose your effective date. So again, don't sit on these claims. If you get a decision you disagree with, give us a call, or any accredited attorney or agent or even VSO. See what we can do for you. But the blanket statement of, no, you can't apply for it, you can't appeal, there's nothing you can do. I hate when people say that, because quite frankly, I can't tell you sitting across the table from you, because I'm not a doctor. Take a look at your file. Don't be discouraged. Don't let people gatekeep you. And go ahead and apply for those pre-existing conditions if you think it applies to you. Till next time, take care.